everybody can hear me. Ka herë se unë folje dhe pak të fjashtë, kështu që në digjoni kollaj. Faleminderit të diluani. Është i Liguari, shërë i Liguari, zoja zotni. Është nësi që jemi bashku këtu për të nderuar një figurë që nuk ka nevojë me folë shumë për ta, se flet puna. Një shembull i thjeshtë, popullori joni që thonë nga njëherë, ajo nusja thotë, mos u këshirë hunën, po këshirën punën. Ky edhe pse është i vogël, i shkurt, po ka një zonë të madh, një zonë të fortë që bota e njeh për çështjen tonë. I'm not going to scare you that I'm going to talk about the history of the league for the past 25, 30 years, because then we'll be going to be sleeping here. But I'm going to jump fast, just a couple of, to make the record straight, to tell the history the way it is. Because someday, the historians, it's going to put the history in its place the way it is and the way it was. 1984, Joe Dioguardi was elected to the Congress, served for two terms. 1985, he lost a bid for the re-election, and then immediately, without hesitation, he formed the Albanian American Civic League.
1989.
1989. Correct. So now, the dates, I'm not going to stick to it because the people who's going to write the history, they're going to look into it and they're going to put the right dates and the right years and months. So that wouldn't matter to me now. What I want to make a couple of personal things that happened through this period of time, about 2 decades, 2.5, is that the League, which I will take an example just very recently. I happened to be in the lunch with the president of Kosova on the Thursday, the 22nd of September. And I had the chance to talk to her directly and tell her that the new state of Kosovo, with my own old state of Albania, I think they have forgotten about us, diaspora. Haven't heard from anybody yet, from either state, to say one thing about diaspora which have done so much in the past century. At the beginning of the century, as we all know, I'm going to tell you the story, but I have to mention it. Vatra came with the Fanoli, Konica, and they were able to lobby then the president of Woodrow Wilson, and they were able to do the things that today Albania exists. At the end of the century, again, the situation came that something has to be done, because in 1980, 1981, the situation in Kosovo started steering for the worst. Milosevic took the what do you call that? Autonomy e Kosovës. The autonomy took the autonomy and closed the schools, closed the offices that were run by the Albanians. From that point on, it's becoming the history. And then somehow, some way, something, a miracle, I would say, came out of nowhere, this guy, and formed the Albanian American Civic League. At that point in time, Vatra was in existence, and we weren't able or capable to do what needed to be done. He did, as we all know here, probably I don't have to tell you, but because that I'm here now, I have to mention a couple of things. He did what had to do, and in 1990, he organized a hearing at the Congress of the United States. We brought the leadership of Kosova, headed by Ibrahim Rugova, Julieta Pulej, Rajab Chosja, and many others that I don't remember the names now. But at the same token, America, of course, it brought the other side. It brought the Serbs, headed by Dobrica Ćosić, Bishop Mitjo, which I don't remember his name exactly, but the bishop and 2-3 other priests. And we had the hearing and lasted all day long. At the end of the day, if we can compare it on percentage-wise, I think we won the day by somewhere 80–90% on our favor. The fact speaks for itself, because when Dobrica Ćosić went back in Belgrade, the news people asked him, how did it go in Washington, D.C.? He responded and said, we cannot do nothing in Washington, D.C. because Washington is already occupied by the Albanians. At the same time, Ibrahim Rugova goes back to Pristina. Same thing, the news people asked him, how did it go in Washington, D.C.? He said it went wonderful, we had a big success, and what Albanian American Civic League did, practically one state couldn't have done more. So these are the facts that they speak for itself, but taking the main fact, when we hear our worst enemy, Slobodan Milošević, when he appeared in the court in Hague, he said, when he when he talked to the judges, and he said, simply quoting him, the reason I'm here today is because of the Albanian American Civic League that exists in the United States, headed by a Congressman, Joseph Dioguardi. He came to Kosova, uprooted my people, asked them they became separatists and irredentist and whatnot and so on and so forth. So as a president, what I'm going to do? I have to do what I have to do, so I have to put my people down and make sure that they don't do what it shouldn't do based on him. So these are the facts. And as I said these things to the president of Kosova that day, the 22nd of September, she very graciously took my conversation with her and responded, yes, we are in debt to you, to the diaspora, for sure. And she proved it to me. And I would like to thank her here now, and all the people that are listening in this media. On the next day, on the Friday the 23rd, at the dinner that was held by the National Albanian Council, in her speech, he said, I would like to thank the Albanian American Civic League for the 20 years of hard work on behalf of the independence of Kosovo. And that was the first high official on either state to thank this guy, or for that matter, anybody, or for that matter, the guy, I don't remember his name, but he went around here in New York City through these streets and picked up soda cans. And with that soda cans, he went and sold them at the supermarkets. And he gathered $5,000 and donated to the UÇK. So he has to be thanked also, because he did everything he could. It's another point after I took, and I wanted to bring it to her attention. And I asked the permission to say it, and I asked her, I said, it's a request, if it's possible. I said, because we here in the United States, as I myself, I'm all 40, 50 years here, I have integrated to the American way. I don't want to be assimilated, but I am already integrated here. I said, to you, I understand you have a government, you have all the structure of the government, the president, the prime minister, all these things, but I know something, it's over your head. You have a veto right over your head. If they don't like it, no matter what you ask or do, they will veto. But, I said, if you think and you believe that it's something that does not fit us, just like they say, one size doesn't fit all, you should stand fast and say, no, that is not good for us. And I said, believe me, America will support you and will respect you much harder or much better than giving in without cause. What surprised me at the Albanian National Council dinner, after the president spoke, came Prime Minister Hashim Thaçi. I wish him all the best, but it to me surprised me, and don't take my word for it because it's taped, it can be seen on TV and everything. Not once, but at least several times, he has mentioned Kosovo. Why Kosovo? Why me? Why an Albanian? Kosovo is Kosova, not Kosovo. Nobody was forcing him to say that there. So these are things that we have not, or they have not acknowledged what diaspora have done. I don't want to go too far, but we as a league have stood fast. We have not embraced or supported any political party on either side, because we feel that we can stay on the sidelines, see what they do, we will appraise the good things and we will criticize the bad things. And I'd like to quote one thing from a book from my hometown, The Prince of Rhapsody, Rhapsodisi Shqiptar. Shumë kush e njeh Frok Hajia. Joe, I'm sorry, I'm going to read it in Albanian. But one of these days I translate it for you. But
I'm sure I'll understand a lot of it.
It's short. And it says here, the guy, he says, pluralizmit ju ngrit kështjella, bash fort mirë si doli pjella. Dikush vrap, ju fut në gjinj, krijuan shpejt 30 parti. këso partish nuk kisha pa njënja tjetën veç të shoh. Kush nervoz e kush me llafe, populli mriz të ditën në kafe. Now, who's doing right, who's doing wrong? Just like I said, we would like to be independent, see and appraise the good ones and good things, and we will criticize the bad things and what it's not right for us. The work for us has never stopped. We have been betrayed by a lot of people. If I have to go and discuss the details of how we have been betrayed, it's going to take too long. But someday the historians and people will write and talk about it. So I'll leave you with that, and we'll meet again.
Thank you.
Thank you.